Remember that person you said you couldn't live without? Well, look at you living in shit. So it's been a year since my relationship ended. And even though that's not something I'm super excited about, but I feel like if I say it in any other tone, it's gonna seem like I'm depressed and emo, so yay. But I seriously can't believe it's already been a year. It went by so fast. Honestly, the only reason why I know it's been a year since we broke up was because Google reminded me that a year ago I was in the Azores, and I was like, thanks Google for that reminder. Really needed to remember that. So since it has been a year since I felt like I got my heart broken, I wanted to just comment on some things that I learned over this year in hopes to really just motivate someone who's gone through a rough breakup and just feeling kind of lost in life and feeling like, how are you ever gonna find the way to make it through life, and just really hopefully help you get through it and just let you know it's gonna be okay, and honestly you're probably much better off. By the way, just gonna put it out there that this video in no way is supposed to hurt anybody or expose anybody or any kind of other shady stuff. So if you do know who my ex is and you follow him on Instagram or you know him personally, please do not contact him. Please do not contact him. He's actually a really good person. We were together, we broke up, now we're not together. That's the end of that story. And we're actually still really good friends. I mean, we did not end on bad terms. As you saw in other videos, you know, we were still living together for a little bit. It's crazy because I still get to this day, even though it's been over a year since I posted anything with him, I still get to this day people asking why we broke up. And one day I will share with you guys what happened, since a lot of you guys have been with us since the beginning of the journey. But I wouldn't post it on this channel just because the majority of people don't give a F. But I would post it on my other channel more about personal stuff and things like that, Spanish, Spain, traveling. That channel is Where's Cat Theo. The link will be in the description if you want to subscribe. But it's also kind of hard to share that story without putting all their business into it. I put my life on YouTube and publicly, but he didn't. So that's kind of a fine line I'm trying to learn how to tread without putting all his business in there and making him uncomfortable. Just trying to respect his privacy, essentially, which I was not doing when I put him on my channels all the time. When we broke up, honestly, I was devastated. I think it's really hard to accept that someone doesn't love you as much as you thought they did. As depressing as that sounds, that's just kind of the reality in a lot of relationships, not only intimate relationships, but friendships and family relationships as well. You just have to accept that and move on. I know a lot of people were like, well, F him, he's a horrible person and blah, but I mean, not really. If I was in an opposite situation and I want to be with him, like, I have that right to not want to be with somebody. I'd rather you do it now than drag it out 10 years, prolong the inevitable, and then break up with me eventually. But I gave myself 2 full days to just cry and be angry and be bitter and whatever. And after those 2 days, I was like, okay, I cannot let this consume me. I need to pull it together because I was still a person without this relationship. I was a person before this relationship, and I'm gonna continue to be a person, a productive person without this other person. I think that's something you kind of forget when you're so in your relationship and it's just been you and that other person for so long. You know how that can be. You're in a relationship, you don't hang out with other people, you just have the other person. It's very easy to just fall into that trap of just having each other. But when you remember, like, I was a fantastic person actually before we met, still am a fantastic person and will be a fantastic person. So just remember that. You're fantastic. You are fantastic. Okay? Another thing I really learned is just that many people are placed in your life for a period of time and the right moment in time for you, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be dating for this lifelong partner all the time. I know, being raised pretty religiously, I always thought, you know, you find that one person, you date them forever, you get married, and you just stay together forever until you die. When we first broke up, I had so much anger, like, wow, I just wasted 3 years of my life, completely just wasted my time, and just everything angry, very negative thoughts came out of my head, which is very normal when it's very fresh like that. Looking back on the relationship is that we had a great relationship. You know, we didn't have 3 years of a horrible relationship. We only had just honestly that week in the Azores that was just not good, obviously, because it was pretty fresh. We traveled the world together. We supported each other. We fell in love together. We encouraged each other. And all those things didn't just disappear just because we broke up. This person did give me a lot of happiness in that period of time that we were together and we were happy. And that's something that you can remember and just be happy that you were happy. But Just because you were happy does not mean that you can be reminiscing on only the good times and ignore the reality of how it is currently. You must see the situation how it is and not how you want it to be. That is just so important, okay? This will save you a lot of time in your life. If you're a young person, you're just starting to dating, or you're not a young person, but you're still dating, trying to figure it out, yeah, see it how it is. Anything that once made you happy, you should not regret. So don't regret this relationship just because it ended, because it made you happy at one point in your life. Something huge that I've learned over this year that I see a fault in my own self in this relationship was instead of trying to change somebody, hoping that they will change or their mindset will change, just find someone that literally thinks the way you want them to think. Just a random example that I don't think you'll be mad if I share is that I've just always wanted to date a vegan, and it's not a deal breaker for me. I've never dated a vegan in my life, but that's just something I've always wanted. But I know we're literally 2% of the population. It's very unlikely. But when my ex actually was trying to go vegan, I just went psycho, and I was like, okay, now he's going vegan and I just want him to be vegan. I kept trying to push it on him, which I should have never have done. And instead of trying to push this person to be vegan, just go out and find a vegan who loves to travel with an entrepreneurial mindset. I'm sure he exists. Apply within. The whole mindset of societal relationships and about working it out no matter what, staying with each other through the thick and thin and until death do us part, and no matter what you work it out, is just, I think is just a bunch of BS, honestly. A lot of that comes from religion and this and that, but I just think it's just people are going about relationships in the wrong way, and that's why a lot of people are in messed up relationships. No, I don't care what anybody says. If this person is treating you like crap, is cheating on you, is lying to you, XYZ, etc., etc., you can go on for days about all the things people do to you that you should break up with them. Leave, okay, leave. And this is not directed at him. This is just in general. Don't stay in a relationship just because, you feel like you have to work it out and no matter what happens, like you're his ride or die. No, find someone who's gonna treat you like the queen that you are. Someone who's not gonna call you out your name. Someone who's not gonna flip out on you and can control their emotions and talk to you like you're an adult. Someone who respects you. Someone who's generous, someone who's kind, someone who's honest. Don't be putting up with people's crap just because of, oh, you gotta work it out. You can do it. You can fix any relationship. No, you can't fix any relationship. Staying with this person, trying to work it out, crying all the time. For what? Honey, life is way too short to be unhappy, and I'm choosing happiness. And you can't reach for anything new when your hands are full of yesterday's junk. So let it go. Let them go and move on with your life. Actually, I got back into the dating scene recently. Me and this guy, we just weren't clicking. We both felt it. And our mutual friend was just always like, you can work it out, you can do it, like just do this and that. Just have this conversation. And he was trying and trying and trying. And I'm just like looking at her like, this is the problem, is people think that you can fix any relationship. Some things just can't be fixed. Some things are just not meant to mesh. The sooner you realize that and accept it and just be okay with it, the better you both are. And there's no hard feelings. I wish you the best of luck in life, and I hope you marry the girl of your dreams and you follow all your dreams and have all the success you want in life. But I don't think it's with me, and that's okay. Another thing I learned about myself after 2.5 relationships failing miserably was that I'm not that interested in being in a super serious relationship anymore. You feel very territorial about that person. You're super jealous. Actually, I was at a pool party the other day in Vegas, and I bumped up against this guy, and this woman flipped out, and she was like, "Bitch, you trying to touch my man, blah, blah." And I was just like, and I've never felt like that in a casual relationship. I've only felt like that when I've been in a monogamous relationship with somebody and intensely just wanting to protect them and make sure they never leave and nobody steals them. And it's just like, if they're gonna leave you, they're gonna leave you, boo. Like, there's nothing you can do. There's a really big negative connotation with being casual with people, especially as millennials. I feel like we're going more into the casual scene where we're not really doing the serious relationship thing. And I can see why people do that. It can just be really exhausting to just put so much effort into one person, and it just doesn't really go anywhere. I just feel like dating doesn't have to be so stressful and so complicated and so much drama. Like, everyone thinks their crap doesn't stink, but I just feel like I'm such a mellow person that I just deserve somebody who's also not jealous and not crazy and not psychotic. But you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Like, not giving people the freedom to do what they want just doesn't really align with my values anymore. And I think as Homo sapiens, inherently, we lust different kind of things. Like, it's kind of like I see it kind of like an ice cream shop where you're loyal to your salted caramel ice cream. Like, that's your favorite, that's what you go to, you support it, you invest in it, da 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 da. But like, one day you might want some Oreo ice cream, but you still love your salted caramel ice cream, you know? And that's okay to want other things, but just like, yeah, I don't want to go too much into it, but that's kind of how I think my mind is moving as far as relationships goes, is like more casual, less stress, no drama, do what you want. I'm over here, enjoy my life. Okay, another thing is just letting it go. Letting it go and not being so negative about the opposite sex in relationships and things like that. I have a friend, and I think her and her boyfriend broke up about 2.5 years ago, and she still posts on Facebook every day, men are scum, men are horrible liars, they all cheat on you. Every day, probably since the last 2.5 years. And it's like, girl, let it go. Let it go. You think he's still thinking about you and what he did to you? No. He's not. Hate to disappoint you, he's not. The only person you're hurting is you. He does not care. He does not read your statuses. You're probably blocked. I have always been that way, but I feel like this might help somebody out there, but don't be that woman who's checking your boyfriend's phone, checking his computer, looking at his Instagram, trying to catch him in a lie, trying to catch him doing this, trying to catch him doing that. The thing is, with jealousy and cheaters, a cheater is going to cheat. That's what they do. There's nothing you can do to stop them. You can be the perfect girlfriend. You can be a 10. You're a snack. Your body is snatched. You're always slayed. Your hair looking perfect all the time. You are the perfect woman. Even Beyonce got cheated on, and she is successful. She's a millionaire. She's talented. She's gorgeous. She still got cheated on. So a cheater's gonna cheat, okay? A cheater's gonna cheat, and that's just the reality. So my advice is just don't date someone you don't trust. That's it. Being someone who has been cheated on, there's just nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. You can be the perfect girlfriend. And by the way, it was not my Spanish lover. This was an American ex, okay? So got any rumors? That person did not cheat on me. I'll give an example. I was the perfect girlfriend. Like, boyfriend would come home, food would be ready, house would be clean, I'm in the mood. Perfect girlfriend, and still got cheated on. Just protect your energy, girl. When you're in a relationship, you know, just make sure you're taking care of yourself too, and not only taking care of your partner. Make sure you're taking care of yourself too, because you deserve that. You do. If no one else has told you today, you deserve that. You are deserving of love. You are enough. You are adequate. And if you ever feel like you're not, like, just know, just because you're not compatible with somebody does not mean you're not adequate, and doesn't mean that you're not gonna find somebody compatible for you. And because somebody freaks out on you, that shows their own personality and their own mental state and their own emotional state. It has nothing to do with you as a slaying goddess queen, okay? Like, don't ever forget that. After a year since we broke up, I'm actually doing really well mentally. I have done a lot of just self-reflection and self-care, and mentally I'm just a lot stronger to let somebody into my life who is ready for me and can handle me and wants to go on an adventure with me, you know, like. But honestly, right now, I'm not really looking for anybody seriously. I find it exhausting to date. I really love the first part of when you're dating, when you just meet and you have butterflies and you're nervous and they never see you without makeup and you're just going out all the time. I love that part. That's my favorite part of dating, I think, like anybody. But I don't like the actual dating part where the jealousy starts hitting in and you start controlling each other and all that. Like, I'm good. So I'm just going with the flow, but I don't know if you guys have experienced this. Let me know below, because this is like for real. I feel like the more and more that I'm single, the more and more I'm getting closer and closer to being a 40-year-old woman with 20 cats, because I just don't want to be in a relationship with anybody, and I just like just my own solitude, and I like just being alone, and I like coming home to an empty house, and I love like coming home to a house and there's no pressure to do anything. I don't have to be in the mood. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean if I don't want to. I can just be. And it's just nice. And I think that scares a lot of men, that women are becoming more self-efficient and they don't really need them unless you want to procreate. And even nowadays, you just go to a donor bank, one of those sperm banks, you don't even really need to deal with all the drama and like all of that. Well, anyways, I don't want to be a pessimist, so I'm done with this video. I would love to hear your stories down below, kind of how you're feeling, your thoughts, and I would love to just have a conversation with you. So join me in the comments. That'd be so much fun. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.